Hello and welcome to the crypto astrology Bitcoin forecast for the week. So right now, Bitcoin, I'll look at the chart in a second. I'll pull it up to show you, but it has kind of moved up. We're still in a zone where we've had some very rough astrology. Some very hard patterns on Bitcoin that have been holding us down. Now, I still see, so we've had some sort of major patterns happen. We had the opportunity, the potential to get a breakout on the 21st, which didn't fully happen, but we did kind of get some things that moved up. And now we're still under a bit of repression that's going to eventually break free and we're going to shoot up. That's how I see it. I do not see Bitcoin as having done and finished and being over with its bull run. We will end this bull move and then get a crash later on in 2026. But first, we have to hit our peak. So that is what I'm seeing. So let me pull up the chart. But before I do, I just want to point out that there is astrology here that can give us a major move of some kind on specific coins, like perhaps XRP, perhaps something else, but we could see some sort of major move going on because the situation with silver is breaking the world markets, and they have to do something in order to try and solve it, fix it, find a solution, whatever. And crypto is a ace up their sleeves that they can use. And so there are a couple that they could pull out and use. And so there's a window of opportunity right now where that can happen. I'm not guaranteeing it. This is just a window of opportunity. The astrology shows me what the potentials are. And then the timing is when those things are going to happen has to happen within one of those windows of opportunity. That's how astrology works. So we are in an opportunity here for some kind of a big move, big change of some kind with the with cryptocurrency. Also, what I have before the end of the year is we do have some alts that are going to start to break out. So we should, like after Christmas, as we head into the weekend, we should start to see some altcoins making some very big moves. I'll do a video on Bitcoin Cash because I posted in my Telegram group, which the link is in the description box below. Please join there because I post there pretty regularly. I posted how, when we had a pretty good pullback on some coins, Bitcoin Cash was still holding its own, was actually still up $100 from where I had done a video where I pointed it out early last week, and it was somewhere around 500 and or low 500s, below 550. And then when I posted that, it was up around 630, 640, something like that. So Bitcoin Cash is holding strong, okay? Don't forget, Bitcoin Cash is one of my favorite coins of all. I do see it taking over and overtaking and rising above Bitcoin, okay? I see that happening. It's a long-term play, though, so don't expect it to happen overnight, okay? It's not going to happen that quickly. It's going to go in phases. And I actually have relationship levels between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash that are going to happen along the way. I channeled this information from Spirit back in 2017 when the fork happened, okay? And I posted it on a platform that doesn't exist anymore, but it was a Bitcoin Cash platform. Okay, so here's what we've been looking at for weeks and weeks out here on YouTube. I previously showed you guys that the market is in, it turned around, right? It was headed down, and then it turned around and started heading up, and we started to get higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. But now we're in something of a sideways pattern because this low, yes, it was higher, this high was higher, but then here we have a lower high, and then we have lower low, but not lower than this, right? And then a lower low, but this came close to this, but not quite. And then our high was not as high. So we're in sort of a sideways, squeezing sideways pattern. So this means that the market is still, it could be turning around, right? It could be still going up. We've gotten more downward pressure right now. And what I see astrologically is that we do have downward pressure. I mean, we had a window of opportunity where we could shoot up, but we shot up within a range, not as high as I would have hoped. But we still have pressure holding the market down for a certain period of time astrologically, and then it will break and it will release and we will be able to go up again. So the release is going to allow us to shoot up again. So right now it's a bad pattern that's holding things low. This is really not that bad considering, that we have a bad pattern that's kind of holding us. Now we could still get one last lower level. Okay. This level here didn't quite hit my lower target, my first target. And that I think is primarily because of what happens with the over the counter trading, because I think it really did hit those lower targets. And this is one of the things I have in the trading course is always understand where the main targets are, where the main levels are. Just basically support and resistance lines are really almost enough to trade off of. But if you understand where those lines are, the support resistance lines down here somewhere, I have that for members, but also understand that the over-the-counter trades, which is made to the institutions, companies like Strategy, are buying up everything as soon as it hits those support resistance lines or, certain other indicators. And this is all in the free trading course, right? The trading course is free with your membership. So what happens is that the trades go through behind the scenes, that they never make it out into the public market. So you never see the actual real price movement out here. So basically we could have dropped lower, but we never saw it. And that's what I think happened here on this low. However, we still have the opportunity to get one more drop. Okay. I expect the potential to get one more drop to a lower level can happen here within, the next couple of weeks. It can't hold out for that long. But we also have a period of time here where we're able to stay low and then we're going to start to shoot up. So also that can't hang out for that long. I'm not guaranteeing we get a lower low. I'm just saying we can get one more drop or even down somewhere close to here. But this would have been the best sort of near-term place to buy things. And then we're going to make upward moves. That's what I am seeing. I do not feel that the crypto market is kaput and is going down. That's not what I see happening. I feel like we're in a pretty significant pullback. We completed a pattern here, which is a bearish pattern, which takes the market down usually. That formed earlier in the year. Okay. We had a bearish head and shoulders that formed earlier in the year. And now that's over though. We've already gotten a pullback. So now the market has to decide again what it's going to do next. A head and shoulders doesn't always mean the market is completely unraveling, okay? It can mean we're just going to get a pullback, go down to a certain level, and then go higher. Normally, it is kind of a topping pattern. However, we're in an undecided zone here, and I still feel that the market is headed higher. There are some reasons for that, some reasons why I see the market as still headed higher. These have a lot to do with the things that Trump has said in words out of his mouth, words he said that were to the effect of, oh, well, maybe Bitcoin can just go up so high that we can pay off all of our debt with the Bitcoin. And other countries around the world very worried about the U.S. doing this. So this is the atmosphere we're in. We're in an atmosphere where major financial changes are happening, major shakeups in various aspects of our society are happening, and desperate moves are coming. And I've gone through this in great detail in my members area on my members calls for the last few weeks. And I've been talking about this liquidity crisis that was coming for months. And now it's essentially here, and it's showing up in a lot of ways in the silver market. Okay. And crypto, Bitcoin has been experiencing some of the effects of the liquidity crisis, because basically when you're out of cash, you're going to raid every cookie jar you have for the cash. That means that companies that are sitting on Bitcoin have sold Bitcoin in order to raise the cash to cover other expenses. That's what liquidity crisis is. It's like in your household, if somebody loses a job and you don't have the cash to pay your bills, what are you going to do? You're going to go maybe sell some stuff, have a garage sale, get rid of some things that hopefully you can make enough money that way. So these are the kinds of things that are happening inside the financial system. So anyway, that's what I have for you this week, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a beautiful week, and of course I will be putting more stuff out about what's going on, so make sure you subscribe. Bye.